When scientists examine how modern humans originated, they often focus on two main ideas: the multi-regional model and the out-of-Africa model. Both theories attempt to explain where and how Homo sapiens developed, but they tell different stories about our origins. The multi-regional model proposes that, after early humans, such as Homo erectus, migrated out of Africa, they evolved into modern humans in several regions simultaneously, remaining connected through limited interbreeding. The out-of-Africa model, on the other hand, proposes that modern humans evolved only in Africa and later spread across the world, replacing other early human species along the way. These two ideas have shaped our understanding of human evolution for decades. In this video, we'll look at what each model says, the evidence behind them, and how discoveries have helped scientists piece together the story of our shared origins. Now, let's examine what the multi-regional model proposes. The multi-regional model argues that modern humans did not originate from a single location, but instead evolved in multiple regions at the same time. According to this theory, Homo erectus left Africa around 1.8 million years ago and spread into Asia and Europe, forming different regional populations. Over hundreds of thousands of years, these groups gradually evolved into modern Homo sapiens. But they did so in parallel, not by being replaced by a single new group from Africa. A key idea in this model is gene flow, which means that even though these populations lived far apart, they occasionally met and interbred, sharing genes with one another. This mixing helped keep humans across different regions, part of one species, instead of splitting into separate ones. Supporters of this model point to fossil evidence showing that certain features in ancient people appear to persist in later populations from the same region. For example, certain physical traits observed in ancient Asian fossils reappear in later East Asian humans, indicating a local evolutionary connection. Proponents argue that these patterns reflect local evolutionary continuity. However, the model has faced criticism because it requires extensive gene flow across vast distances and long time periods, something that is difficult to demonstrate conclusively with fossil evidence alone. Genetic research, especially studies of mitochondrial DNA in the late 20th century, challenged the multi-regional view. They argue that modern humans share strong genetic similarities. Such similarity wouldn't exist if humans had evolved independently in different regions for nearly 2 million years. Recent discoveries show that Homo sapiens interbred a little with Neanderthals and Denisovans. This has brought back a revised version of the multi-regional idea. It suggests there was some regional connection and gene exchange, even though humans mainly came from Africa. Now, let us investigate the second model. The out-of-Africa model. The out-of-Africa model, also known as the replacement model, proposes that modern Homo sapiens evolved entirely in Africa, and then migrated outward to replace other archaic human species across the globe. According to this model, anatomically, modern humans first appeared in Africa around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, evolving from earlier African populations of Homo erectus around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago. Some of these modern humans began to migrate out of Africa into the Middle East, Asia, and eventually Europe and Australia. This theory suggests that when modern humans dispersed, they replaced local populations of archaic humans, such as Neanderthals in Europe and Homo erectus in Asia, rather than evolving directly from them. The out-of-Africa model was strongly supported by genetic studies. The 1980s and 1990s, which traced mitochondrial DNA lineages in living humans back to a single common ancestor, often referred to as mitochondrial Eve, who lived in Africa approximately 150,000 to 200,000 years ago. This finding indicated that all living humans share a relatively recent African origin. Archaeological evidence indicates that early modern humans left Africa and dispersed along coastal routes into Asia and Europe, introducing advanced tools, art, and symbolic behaviors that distinguished them from archaic populations. While the classic out-of-Africa model emphasized the complete replacement of earlier humans, recent discoveries have altered this perspective. Genetic evidence now indicates that modern humans interbred with other species, like Neanderthals, to a limited degree after leaving Africa. Most non-African populations today carry between 1% and 3% of Neanderthal DNA. And some Asian and Oceanian groups also have Denisovan ancestry. This means that while the primary origin of Homo sapiens was African, the species' global history includes a complex pattern of migration, contact, and limited genetic mixing with other human forms. Today, most scientists support a modified out-of-Africa model, recognizing Africa as the main birthplace of modern humans, but acknowledging that limited interbreeding with regional archaic populations added small, yet significant contributions to our genetic diversity. Thanks for watching this episode on human evolution. See you soon with another educational video. Until then, happy learning.